Hello and welcome back to my channel. Mark here. What I'm going to do here today, I'm going to get into my bees here and do a hive assessment on it. And if they are built up good enough, I am going to go ahead and put my shim board on the top of it and have them ready to go. But I'm going to get into my bees here at the house, and I need to go through and do one more hive assessment on every hive that I have and get them ready to be closed up for the winter here in West Virginia. And what I mean by closed up is usually after about the middle of October or the last of October, I won't be getting into them anymore for the winter, and they can just be bees. But what I've got to do is get in and see if they're built up good enough, and after our fall honey flow is over with, if they're not built up good enough, I will make a note of what hives aren't built up good enough, and then what I will probably do is supplement feed them and get them built up a little bit more going into winter. But just like on the other video, the sugar bricks you seen me making, like I said, all that is insurance for the bees throughout the winter, and it will just help them if their food does get a little bit low. They have something there that they can get and it can sustain them. But that was the whole reasoning of me making the sugar bricks and that stuff. But anyway, you all come along with me today and we will get this done. This is the 21st of September. The first day of fall will be Saturday on the 23rd. Okay, this hive right here, I am going to tell you, they're capping this honey super off, so I'm not going to bother them right now. I'll come back at a later date. But they are starting to cap this off. This here metal frame here, I can see that they're capping it off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one and I will go on to another one. I don't want to bother these while they're getting honey stored up in here. But that hive off, it would be off to your left right there. I went ahead and put my shim board on that, and all I got to do is come back and put a piece of burlap in there on top of that shim board, and they will be closed up for the winter. But they are building up like I wanted them to, so I don't think I'm going to have any problems with that hive there. Okay, my blue hive right down there on the end, we're going to go down and check that. go ahead and put my shim board on there. And this is what you all seen me making there the other day. And how I do that, it just goes on top here like this. And I will get you a closer picture of what it looks like here when I get it lined up here. But right there it is. This is how I winter my bees. Now I will put a piece of burlap in there, and you can put your sugar bricks on there, and that's how I winter my bees. And right here's what it looks like. That's what it looks like on top of my hive right here. And you can see the ventilation holes I put in there. And like I said in the last video, for all you people that have followed me on this, there'll be enough ventilation going through here when I have my burlap on that the condensation from these bees will not freeze them. But then what I do with this wire in here, I put a sugar brick on here, or maybe 2 sugar bricks, and I shouldn't have to even get back in here during the winter months. But right there's what I do. I'm going to check this middle super right here and see how they're building this. Okay, this hive right here, I didn't like how it looked. And they're not carrying in a whole lot of stuff, just because sometimes if you see the goldenrod out here and it looks like it's really blooming and stuff, a lot of that has to do with the rain that you have gotten throughout the year too, if you're going to have nectar in the fall. Or that's what I've been told anyway. I don't know how so it is, but I know some years when the goldenrod has been on, these boxes would be full. I've got to even do a little bit to this one right here, but I'm going to do it a different way. But anyhow, just because the goldenrod looks like it's a blooming and doing really well, that don't mean your boxes are filling up. So this hive right here, I am going to have to add sugar water too, because I'm going to do everything possible to try to get these things through the winter. So that's what I got to do to this one. Okay, I'm not going to set you up on the tripod for this hive right here, but this is a hive that I got all my honey off of here in the spring. And this hive, I've been into it, I think I've been into it 3 times this whole entire summer. Well, I just got in here and looked here on this top box, and they've got that thing completely full of honey. And this has been a real good hive. For me here, this is the one I got most of my honey off of here this year. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to take a top box off here and see how they're doing in the bottom right there, and I'm going to close this one up and call it good. Haven't had to do a whole lot to it. I have treated these. I treated them early on in the year, and last year these bees didn't even get treated at all. None of these did, and they made it through the winter because I was laid up with my gallbladder and stuff. But right here, this hive you can see. Okay, I got into all these hives here, and had to put sugar water on the middle one. I put a little bit of sugar on this one here already, and then this one here I'm going to watch yet. They've got stores in the top box, but I didn't see a whole lot in the bottom box, but I did see eggs and brood. So this is all the hives that I have done down here by the house. Now I need to go up on the hill and do that if I have time. Okay, I'm going to get into these hives right here. These are the 2 nukes I made up here a couple months ago. Going to get in, check them, and then I'll check these 2 10 frame hives on the end right here. But I've got sugar water on this one, and I don't have nothing on this one. So we'll check these out and see how they are. I've got these 4 left to do, and then my red nuke down there, and my yellow hive down below, and then I'm done with all my hives here. So far, I have been kind of pleased with what I've seen. I thought it could have been a little bit better, but like I said, just because you see the goldenrod out there and these fall flowers, if you don't get the moisture that you need at the right times of the year, they look good and stuff like that, but they don't always produce. I've seen times with the goldenrod on around here, these hives would have been stuffed full of honey right now. So, but that's why I supplement in the winter time, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure my bees survive the winter here. So I'll shut you off here and get these hives opened up. You've seen me open hives up before, and we'll get into these. But a pretty good indication that the flowers here aren't producing like they need to. I just put this on Monday, this here jug of sugar water, and that is that's 2 quarts right there. And I put that on there, and that's the 3rd one I've went through on this hive here. So, like I said, just because you're seeing the flowers out there and stuff, that don't always mean that they're producing nectar like they need to. So, this is why I'm supplementing my bees here already. I want them to be built up. Here, see the pollen, the orange and the white stuff. They are carrying them plenty of pollen. Okay, I'm gonna shut this one up. Well, I'm not shutting it up for the winter yet, but I'm going to put this shim board on here, and I'm going to give these some supplement so that they will build up a little bit better. They are bringing stuff in, but I want to give them a little bit more. I had to shut y'all off because I thought I rolled the queen when I took a frame up out of there. That's why you always want to, when you're taking these frames out, you can't just go in here and be like a so-called bull in the china closet. You just got to take your time and take your frames out and watch, because the queen can be on the end of the frames. But I'm going to put this shim board on, and I will leave it on here, and then all I got to do with these is put my piece of burlap in here, and when it gets colder, and they'll be good to go. But anyhow, this concludes part one of this video right here of me doing hive assessments on my hives here at the house, and basically going through all my hives. I'm going to go through every one of them, so I had to make this into a two-part video, but I hope y'all enjoyed the first part of this, and I will try to get it out here before long. This weekend I am going to do part two on this, because I need to get this done and start getting my stuff ready for hunting and trapping, because I do that too. And as you all know, I've got another channel called Cottrell's Hunting and Trapping Outdoors, and that's where I do my trapping stuff and my hunting stuff on. But anyhow, enough of that. I will tell you what I did here, up here. I got into this here nuke box here, and I checked it out, and they are storing stuff up, and I put some more sugar water on that, because like I said earlier on, we may have goldenrod out, but I don't think they're carrying a whole lot in. And then I got into this hive here, this nuke box, and I went ahead and put my shim on there, and all I've got left to do here is put my burlap in there and get them ready for winter. But I did supplement them a little bit with some stuff I've got here, and that's what I did with these. But I still got to get into these two hives here, and then my red nuke that you've all seen on the end of the building down there. I got to get into it and look at it, and my yellow hive down below, and then I'll have all my hives done here at the house. But all in all, I was somewhat satisfied with what I seen in these hives. Like I said earlier on here in the clip, is that I thought they could have been built up a little bit more, but that just all goes with beekeeping. And what you've seen here is how I do it. This has worked for me. This might not work for anybody else, but it has worked for me here in West Virginia. So I'm going to get off here, and part two will be coming out here before long. I will see you on part two of this video.